I want to talk about driving excellence. Start by welcoming everybody to the year. Yes, we are welcome to the year 2025. I said something yesterday and I will still repeat it. The fact that we entered the new year 2025, or maybe I should ask, because I know from my own side it didn't happen. But by the time we entered January 1, 2025, did our head go back to factory settings?
No.
Show father.
No.
There I should call what to do, how to do things. So which means the days or the year, not because we shoot fireworks. No, that's not the reason why the year is new. It will be so funny that people will make New Year resolution that, oh, this new year I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. In fact, the second day they will continue unconsciously, because thinking like the year is new, that's when I will start doing something new. No, until you make it part of your habits. And just like I said, they said going beyond the ordinary and driving excellence. Now, 2 words: driving excellence. Driving, which means you can't drive anything without people being behind the reason for that driving. You should know that. Even if it's electric car or voice automated car, you are still the one telling the car where to turn to. You are the one giving the car direction. I'm going from Ede to Ife. The car is listening to something. So which means there is no how we want to do about driving excellence for a particular company. People are still involved. And what do you want to drive? Want to drive towards excellence? What does excellence mean? Superb, first rated, valuable quality. I could see when we joined, they were applauding some people. They give them the targets, they surpass it. Some they were close to it, some they were not near it. Irrespective of what everybody has done in the year we just finished, like we can still do more. That is just it. The room for improvement is the room that can never be filled. We still continue to enter. Everybody will still try to enter, and we all fit in. So funny that even when the organization I work with, the target that was given to us, even before the half of the year, we've met the target, they still call them from head office, increase it. So it's always like that. We continue to have something to meet, just like human needs. We continue to have wants and needs, and we must try to achieve it. Now, let me start from this. I'm not going to dwell more on it. For some of us that were here the last 6 months, or let me say August specifically, we talk about some things: work habits, activities. We talk about grit. Because let me tell you, the year we just started it again. Ọdún ṣì gùn síwájú náà, èlò náà fún mi 6 million. Mo dẹ̀ ti wà ní achieve. No, before you think about it, you just hear the month is gone. Before you know it, first quarter is gone. Before you know it, half of the year is gone again. So until we now see that, no, I don't need to stop what is keeping me flying high. I need to sustain it, and I need to hold on to it no matter how. So this is where we stop in the last 6 months. But this question, remember, I asked it for some of us that are here. How many of us are not here August when I want to know these people that just joined us for the first time? Just only one person, Abi. So which means 99% of us, yes, we are here. Now I asked this question when we are about to finish. That's how do we want to see our results in the next 6 months? The A side and the B side. Now my question is, how was the result? And thank God, Abayin learned, so we could see what some people are doing. Now, no matter anything that might happen, yes, Otishele. There's no need for us to cry over speed make. Abi? There's no need for us to cry over speed make. But there are more to what we can do concerning speed make. Number one, we can produce another make, and we can also try to prevent it from speeding again. The milk is somehow delicate. I know a little about food. Tí milk bá bàjẹ́, inú yẹn lè dàrú if you drink it, unless you want dídì fi ṣe yogurt. But when you drink bad milk, you are in for it. But if we are not crying over speed milk, let's produce another milk that will be good. Then we now prevent it from spilling over again. So that's why we are here for the year 2025. Now, I really want someone to help me. I really want someone to help me. I really want someone to help me. Now, how many of us female here we do not know much about football? No, how many of us female? That's like, I really want us to do something. In fact, just only 2 things maybe under driving excellence. And by the time we get it, it's not this scenario will sum everything up. To say, how many of us do not know much about football? So that we can. I want someone to stand and probably answer the questions I have. Now, it says, let's ponder on this. Now, when you have a match, you are watching a match. Who are those that are playing on the field?
Yes.
The players in any function. Maybe the defender, the keeper, the midfielders. Now, the striker. Thank you. Number 2, who selects the lineup for each matches?
The
manager, the coach. Okay. Now, whenever a team wins, who receives more of the accolades? Do you think that?
Yes, coach.
Let me say 60% is the player. Àwọn la máa dígbò score. Ó ṣe ọmọ mi Lukaku. Ó ṣe ọmọ mi Sack. In the recognition of the accolades, it is sure that majority will go to the. After the match, it is the player that wins the man of the match, not the coach. Even if the team has been losing 3-0 down, and the coach think about what can I do? Yeah, let me pick one person. Yeah, enter. And the match, they finally win 4-3. They will not award the coach; they award the player. But let me now tell you, who is being responsible when the team fails to meet the set target? Not even in the aspect of who is being owned. Panama sacked everything. Even when you know that Rashford ti dàgbà, kí ló ṣe ń tì nìyẹn? Who are you still going to blame? Or who is going to get discipline for it? So, if we bring this back or bring it to SPEC, whatever the results we are seeing, the managers. So, do you now see how delicate our work is? But I love something, to be sincere. I must commend the Oga in absentia, to be sincere. Because yesterday when Mr. Kazim was talking, he showed the journey so far. That's why I didn't even bother us to talk about it again. Most of the KPIs were down, and I was like feeling somehow. But yes, Mr. Kazim still said they reviewed the salary. That's something commendable. Let's just keep on motivating them. But I believe one fún Tayan give me chance Abi? I know majorly maybe they don't sack Kesha, but there are things that you should feel it like, if things are not working out, what should I need to do? And that's why I will be taking you to these first aspects under driving excellence on what I call the M&E, monitoring and evaluation. Now I noticed one particular thing when we came in. I know probably maybe we are tired a little bit when we came in, but I noticed if we are not writing down our goals, that's why when they are calling points, it's only one person that is writing, and maybe some people. By the time you write down your goals, it gives you a sense of clarity. You actually know what you're actually working towards. And I can tell you statistically that there's 42% chance of you achieving your goal when you write them down. Last year, me had achieve it. That means if you have 100% chance of achieving it, if you still write it down and write it down, you have 142% of achieving it. So I really want us to write things that I can see that yes, we are doing that, especially concerning the goals we want to achieve for year 2025. So I'll be talking about monitoring and evaluation. Now, going back to our scenario, a coach that is watching the match, he has said, the set lineup 4-3-3, Rashford, Garnacho, Udlong, Fernandes, and the teams are playing, the players are playing. When they get Maguire, when they get Bruno, they score the first goal. they score the second goal, they score the third goal. Even you, our man, what are you going to say? Tell your bench.
So good.
Ṣé bọ̀bọ̀ yìí náà ṣé ojú kóòtù fọ́ ni ṣé kò rí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni? And it's just the same thing too here, monitoring and evaluation. Now the results we are seeing, I could see that when they are displaying the results, January, June and December. In the last training, I told us that we didn't just arrive at those figures. Gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe per day ló sum up to that result we are seeing. And majorly the works of our CEOs, àwọn èèyàn náà ló accumulate. Some of us as BM, I think most of us are still probably working and come by my CEO. But I believe the AM, so like pay one ní ṣe more of the CEO work. But notwithstanding, either you are doing part of CEO work or you are not doing, you are seeing something every day. Either you take note of it or you do not. Something is summing up. The goal that has been set, you will finally see the result. But something has to be done if you are a good coach. And that's why when coaches, football coaches, when some of them were sacked, you know our fans máa ń dùn pé ó yẹ kí n ti lè lọ tipẹ́ gan. Imagine that. So let's talk about M&E. It's a common word in project management, but I just pick some things in which I want us to relate with as SPEC is concerned. Now, I have this quote by Peter Drucker: the task of leadership. The reason why I'm now focusing on the aspect of leadership is because we all agree that when the team is performing, when the football match is being won, the players get recognized very well. But however, to bad day on the negative side, the coach is the target. The task of leadership is to create an alignment of strength in ways that make a system's weaknesses irrelevant. And I have with that M&E, which is monitoring and evaluation, is one of the makes to make this task possible. I can tell you, we have a lot of Basheni, some branches that are performing very well. We all know the Pareto principle. There are always 20% that are contributing to 80%, and there are also 80% that are contributing to 20%. But if everything comes together, there is a way that some of these weaknesses will not show. I can tell you which team is playing currently very well in Premier League. Liverpool. Even when you check the first 11 football lovers, you've seen matches of Liverpool everyone dey fair lose now until Salah pick up and score for them. That's the same thing happens in businesses and organization. Now I will now tell you that vision and plan are not enough. So all this one that Kazim have said, yeah, I'll give you 6 million, they are not enough alone. They must be combined into venture. We must put them as adventure. Yes, this is what we really want to achieve. And that's why I said, if we are not writing out those goals, we can just think like no. In project management, M&E is an essential component which can be incorporated into any venture to ensure success in plans, projects and programs. Now when you see these targets that we are setting as projects, only timeline that we must actually achieve it, then we as manager having the leadership mentality, having the manager's mentality, okay, how do we now make this to come to pass? Let's go to this basic definition of monitoring and evaluation. There are actually 2 words: monitoring, evaluation. Let's start with monitoring. Monitoring is the systematic and routine collection of information from projects, programs and activity for decision making purposes. Now I talked there yesterday, okay, what information is. It ranges from even the informal one. Báwo ni wípé lọ́lọ́ni àyàn méjìlá bá pàdé, that's information. Either you make it routine every Friday, we'll be collating that, okay, at the end of every business work. But you are not just getting that data, you are using it, you are getting it for a particular purpose, which is decision making purposes. So by the time you have information, you are sending reports. You are not just collating the report of the CEO for collation's sake. No, but you are actually looking at it and say, performance wa lónìí, well done. Performance wa lónìí. Because if you know that the summation of every day's work, the result at the end of the month, you know that the results you are going to see at the end of the year, at January 1 ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, you take it serious. Monitoring is a periodical recurring task which already begin in the planning stage. So this stage that we are even talking about, FNE 20, FNE 10, 6 million, your monitoring should start now. Now when some of us were giving figure and we don't probably put it down, I wonder what we are going to tell our CEO or we are going to tell our BMs. Lastly, monitoring is checking progress against plan. Actually, what the previous session did was what we call evaluation. This is what we set, this is what we achieve, that's evaluation. But monitoring is actually, this is what we set and we've started, are we on the path towards achieving it? So the goal of every football coach is to win the match. Abi, wọ́n ti wá ń yẹ̀mí fọ́ọ̀rù lọ́wọ́, and the coach that is being beaten 4-0 ó wá jókòó kalẹ̀ ó kàn jẹ chewing gum. You as fans, even we Nigeria fans, that we do not contribute anything to the football team in Europe, our galamako ma raise pé this coach has to be sacked. But you see someone that even when he is leading 1-0, he still trying to guide that 1-0 pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ score sẹ́. One match happened last year, Man City Tottenham, that I think Guardiola was winning maybe 2-1 or 1-0, that Son got a chance to score against the keeper. Kí ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Guardiola? Ó ti dápọ̀ ẹ̀dùn pé ó ti score. You see, that somebody is actually monitoring what is going on. It doesn't have to be from head office. Let's máa fún wa ní report of research tẹ̀sílẹ̀ last week ni. No, but you yourself, you've seen ibi tí kìíní ń lọ. We are not on the path or we are on the path. You can even surpass it. It involves the collection of routine data to measure progress towards achieving objective or set goals. So all this that has been said to us, I'm giving you this also number of this they are goals for us. So when you are actually looking at the progress, today is January 12, tomorrow January 13, what do we have? The target that is being set for us for the mid-year, we still have 6 months. Don't think about it, we still have 6 months. Whatever you do per day accumulates to meet what you are going to give report at the mid-year. So that is actually monitoring, in which every manager must have it at the back of their mind. It's not only project management thing alone, I said this, but everybody is doing one or two. You are actually, these are the things we actually set. Now let's look at it. Am I on the path towards it? Now what is the purpose? What are the purposes of monitoring? Number one, to learn from experiences in order to improve practices and activities in the future. We did last week 10. This week 5. What is happening? That's a drop in value. What do we need to do? You are not just looking at record done by CEO for the purpose of no. As manager, as this data you are seeing them, you already know what is this thing is telling you. We are doing it. Yes, we are doing it. We can still do better. We are still very close to it. Another purpose is to have internal and external accountability of the resources used and the results obtained. The amount of money disbursed by head office, the amount of money we are to targets we are to meet, should correlate. The KPIs we have, did they really correlate in the way they should? For example, I got one example when we get here. They said someone had some apologies for that, 79 clients, almost like half of it. Then it's stagnant. And why someone is having even higher value, but just few. By the time you feel like, I've done this. The resources given to me, I use it very well. And number 3, to make informed decision on the future of the initiative. No guesswork. You're able to see what is really obtainable. Okay, part of 1 million target for the month of January, we are in the 2nd week and we've done 400,000, which means in the next 2 weeks we need to double our output to meet up with the 600,000. We are not just doing guesswork. No, but we know that we want to make decision based on the information we have with us. Now the data that we acquire through monitoring is what we use for evaluation. So what is now being displayed in the previous session is evaluation, because you've collected the data from January 1, 2, 3 for the month, for the first quarter, for the second quarter, for the third quarter. Then we are now evaluating. Show already for 100 or 80. But what we arrive to for that evaluation is what we call the monitoring. That's why it's sometimes called the process evaluation, and sometimes it's a cycle. By the time you start a journey, that's why companies give reports periodically. They don't just start from January 1 or to the December. No, they will do monthly reports, they will do quarterly reports, mid-year reports, so that they can actually see, are we on the path. So even if at the branch level we are not doing comprehensive, or let me say advanced report like that, but there are ways we can monitor our information and we can actually see where we are really going. Second thing, because of time, evaluation measures how well activities have met the expected objective. We gave you the target of 1.5 million, you did 1.7 million. We've evaluated you did well. You know, it's different from monitoring. Monitoring is that, yes, for the month of January end, I was giving 1.5. We are still in the 11th day. I've done 500,000. Yes, I'm on the path. That's monitoring. Yes, I can do better. The evaluation is now at the end of it. Have I really even done well? And to the extent which changes in outcome can be attributed to the program input. Now, what we did or what we have as the output, when you now check it with what has been given to you, I could see, yes, they will tell you, see, sometimes even when you are supposed to be somehow disciplined, you say, well, we'll try, because they could correlate it with the input. But imagine a branch where you have enough fuel, you see the evaluation there. So before we now arrive at the end of it, managers must know how to monitor their data. The difference in the outcome of interest between having or not having activities is now known as the impact. That's why evaluation is now called impact evaluation. This is what we try to do. This is what we set for us to do. These are the things we give ourselves to do as resources. Now, do we actually now make the impact? When you have all your data, you have all your information, and you can see, the reason why this did not even work out, you can actually see the reason. I've done my best. These are things I cannot control, and they happen. Everybody will feel justified. Okay, yes, you even feel like, yes, we've done our best. And not only that, you're actually trying to solve it, not because policy. Do you know many companies that were affected when cashless policy was brought in? But that doesn't mean they should now stop working. They need to find a way of, and I think I love that approach. Yesterday someone was saying, they can make cash available, and they still have to make, like, let's still stand on what we have been doing. It's working well, and it can actually demonstrate how activities will now lead to outcome when we evaluate it. That's why the evaluation was done at the end of the year. It is still based on that information we have. Not as if we set targets for the new year. That's why I know SPEC will not set unrealistic goal for you. When we are checking all those information, calculations, we see some that were increased by even more than 100%, because they believe with the information we have, with the data that have been generated, they can still do it. And lastly, let me just move to that one. Speak about our work habits, our progress and results, and that is what is very important. Going back to our stages, to our football analysis. There was a time in Chelsea, for football lovers, you have a lot of good players at the bench during Conte time. Team match about they quickly bring in Fabregas, they bring in some people, and before you know it, they will change the game around, because they are saying we are not doing well, let's just move. And that's why even at the accumulation of team's performance, at the beginning, the team we use number 14, but are they supposed to be in 14? We did be good. See one branch, once of another branch, turn by turn. No, branch go to Jare. No, someone was even talking about that team and said you are not even a big team again, so don't count yourself as big team. But they knew within themselves we are a reputation that he need. Same thing with SPEC. When Mr. Kazim showed the journey so far, there's one point I saw. He said less visibility. Do you know that? Less visibility. If we are not careful of our data or our work, our activities, people will hear less about SPEC, and that shouldn't be what we are playing for or we are trying to achieve. No. Oh, yeah, can't do. I wanted, okay, maybe I should do it. If I see you and I say SPEC, what do you respond with? Dedication. You know that slang. If the company is not performing very well, nobody will hear about it again. Meanwhile, they key adegboro kemagbo dedication. You know one thing, something funny happened yesterday. I saw one person too this week. Mo bá rí báàgì no life lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ní ẹ ti rìn. Because by the time you see, do you not know it's even affecting our psychology by which if someone wants to give you a flyer, ẹ jẹ́ fún flyer ẹ̀ṣẹ́. Because automatically kí lè máa pè. But you know, they are still creating more visibility. How much more we that we are helping people to achieve their goal, success path. We are empowering people. No. So which means we need to do well. Now, let me now tell you M&E relationship, monitoring and evaluation relationship is a cycle. By the time you start monitoring, you evaluate. You continue monitoring again, you evaluate. Now, on the long-term goal for the year is that, okay, by the time we reach December, we check it. But we don't have to wait till December before we start knowing what to do. As far as you are resuming back to work tomorrow, even the day's work, January 13, 2025, what do we have? You monitor it. You collate this, you collate this, you collate this. This is what you have. Okay, you evaluate it. Okay, you are still on the path. You still continue monitoring. So you don't stop. M&E is a cycle. It continues. You must continue it. Even before they start evaluating you from head office at the end of the first quarter, you even know what to say. You even know what is on ground already. That's why when Mr. Kazim was saying that in their former place of work, àwọn kan máa yan wá seminar because they know what they have already. Àwa kò sí gbèsè lọ́rùn wa. Anyway, àti fẹ́ sọ àmọ́ nǹkan tá máa sọ. So same thing when you know what you have with you, based on the fact that you are monitoring and you are evaluating your data, your information. You know that yes, I need to do this, I don't need to do this, I need to be at peace, I need to do more. I have it here. We now have it. And the option meji. No, we have two options. We have two options. Now, for females that don't know much about football. Ṣé máa yìí níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ currently? Ta ló dá mi lónìí àpò bèrè ló dá mi lónìí? Tó fi mọ̀ pé máa yìí níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. And look at this man. For me personally, I love this man even above Guardiola. Because this man has coached a lot of things and has built. Kì í ṣe ohun tó máa dúró ti team. He coached AC Milan, received won Champions League. Currently with Real Madrid, he won the best award. Best coach for the year, FIFA and the Globe Soccer one. Now let me now tell you, as coach, which we are also, our monitoring and evaluation process. By the time we combine this with our work, we have two options. If we don't do it very well, we can have the like of this man. Tó mọ̀ pé player tó ń lọ rà kò good. Also starting one. When he have resources, he's looking at the match báyìí pé Rashford ń paná lọ, ó dẹ̀ fi continue láti máa lò, ó dẹ̀ fi Ahmad sórí bench, ó dẹ̀ ń wò wọ́n ràn. Or we can have this man. Do you know what's funny? Football lovers, apologies for the ladies that don't know much about. Do you know currently this man in his team, the match he played this week in his team, only one defender ló wà ńbẹ̀. You don't normally in a football team, let me just say this way, minimum of 3 defenders ló yẹ kó ní, but this man only had 1. Ó dẹ̀ win match yẹn because when he was thinking my players have had injury, Rudiger nìkan ló kún team, ó dẹ̀ mú àwọn wingers ó convert wọn sí flank 2 flank 3, ó dẹ̀ kó gbọ́n wọn sí and they were playing. And Real Madrid could not even feel it that we don't have defenders. Because of what? He monitored the see. So player, Otishofo, so player, Otishofo. I need to work around it. So that's why I said MRE is to make us have informed decision. We are not just doing record for the purpose of record sake. No, we are not just doing it that way. But we are actually looking at the book and see today's work, this is what we actually did. So which means it's going to affect the way we do work tomorrow. We did what we are expected to do. Yes, we tried. Tomorrow we do it. Only 70% la achieve or la agbero double also go fin dey cover up. So you are not just waiting, or you are not just imagine a coach that will just even small things. Tó bá ti wo match yẹn débi kan tí ó bá ti win, they will sack the coach. So we have two options. I will still probably remind us if God give us the grace to come back mid-year. I will still show us this picture. Ibo la force you. Bí àwọn tí Man U ni o, àbáwọn tí ó ní award winning. We see. As managers, I want us to look at 3 things we need to monitor. I will still come back to that stage, to that scenario of football. Number 1, we need to monitor goals. Second, we need to monitor players. And third, we need to monitor processes. I want us to know that the goals that has been set for us Lawaja, this so branch after 6 million. That's the goal. We need to monitor it. Just like a coach has the target of winning that match, that these 3 points mo gbọ́dọ̀ gbà. That's the first thing. How do I get it? So same thing too. This social amount that has been given to me, I'm to reduce the number of defaulters by this. How do I achieve it? The second thing is, as a good coach, you try to monitor the players. Most players, they will feel fine even when they are about to start match. But come and feel I now feel like, what is going on? Same thing with our CEOs too, which we can call our players. There's a need for us to monitor what they do, how they are doing it. I said something yesterday that what you do or what you want to do is not as important as how to do it. If you don't know how to do, and I give one example. Most of us you know how to do it, so you do it now. But by the time you know how to do it, that's why even you adding knowledge to your CEO, you are teaching him so that the CEO can give you good results. And that's why I've seen most of us that are football fans, we can see a lot of coaches that will just call one player, wow, come. To pass the pass him, that's shot. And by the time you see it, I've seen one clip like that. Ronaldo and Zidane putting pass from Benzema, who can bad and what to do at the box, shoot. And in the next 3 minutes, Ronaldo shoot the shot, and it was a goal. And the last one is the processes. As a good coach, you are standing. 11 players salary fit. You are not just watching them and waiting for them to bring results. You are not waiting for them to finish the match. You are watching. I told you to pass. Pass a brother go to back. That's why I love one particular coach, Jose Mourinho. There is no how big you might think you can be. Only size alone. Because by the time he tells you play very well, don't play that. No worry. Bench me. You will sit down very well. So we might not have that. We might not be using that approach, but there is a way we monitor processes of how our players are playing on the field. Okay. Most of us know the strength of our CEOs. We know some of them that so person can do it. So why can't we deploy them to that using their strength? So these are the 3 things I want us to talk about. Number 1, I want us to look at this in monitoring our goal. Can you just tell someone beside you, be smart? Jare. Now, smart is actually an acronym. You know, we said we are monitoring the goal. So goal is also the if you want to achieve that goal, if you want to monitor the goal, you must monitor it smartly. But smart is an acronym, which means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic or relevant and time bound is something. Now the S, understand and monitor the target in SMART formula. That's the first thing. As you are trying to monitor as BM, as AM, as ZM, understand and monitor our goal using that SMART formula. Number one is be specific about it. You know where you are, the path you are, and we are being specific. That's why we are being given, and that's why I said some of us that we didn't write it down, we are shortening our chances of meeting up those goals. Write it down. Even as manager, it's possible to buy new way to, if it's possible for you, write it in a book. We just used to have office table, abi. If you see below, go to buy joke buy. That's the first thing you are saying. That's how the mind works. Anything you set your mind onto, there will always be thinking about how can I get it done, how can I get it done. So be specific. We are moving from 4.5 million to 7 million. Yes, that's the specification about it. We are trying to, don't just think all these things the previous session was telling you, don't just think it's for saying sake. I can verse on. No, we are expanding our targets for the month, our targets for the week. We want to increase by this. Yes, have it, specify them out. The second one, which is M, make it measurable. Ensure that your goal is quantifiable so that you can track the progress. Okay, if I'm moving between January and June and we are moving from 4.5 to 6 million, okay, how realistic it is that we can do it? So which means by the end of January I should have moved to 5 million naira. Note it, point. That's the 5 million you are now looking at. Okay, by the time you check the report for the day, okay, from 4.5 to 4.750, we are on the track. You have figure you can relate with. No, not just let's just be doing it. Okay, we have our defaulters which are 100, we are reducing it to 50. Have the figure measurable. Okay, from 100 to reduce to 90, we are on the track. So be smart. When I say be smart, you should know it that this is what I mean by it. Make it specific. The target for the year, yes, specification. Now make it a something you can actually measure, that you can see. We have been given all those factors, all those figures, all those points. Let's also in our part, I would have loved us to do one exercise, but because of the time, I would have just called us to just use one branch. Yeah, the target that was given to you. Yeah, how are we going to work? So we can just use this. But notwithstanding, as you are going back to your office, you have the slide with your guy, and you are also writing something down. Make sure that the figure, the target plan that was given to you, let it fit into this. That's why I said be smart. It's something you can just remember. Be smart, be smart. Even you as AM, you can tell your BM, Alpha, what's going on? Kini figure, okay. Remember, be smart. So the better will be remembering, okay, measurable, specific. The next one, achievable. Set goals that challenge you but remain realistic based on your resources and capabilities. Now, if within 6 months I am to increase from 1 to 6, look at it oh. If I am to increase from 1 to 6 within 6 months, normally if I'm doing it 1 by 1 per month, I will achieve it. Do you know that? But I think it won't help me, because if you are actually monitoring yourself and you know that unforeseen circumstances can come, I will not limit myself to 1 per month. Abi, did you get it? If I am to move from 1 to 6 within 6 months, if I divide 6 by 6 months, it will give me 1 per month. So which means if I'm moving from 1 to 2 in the next month, most achieve it now. But if I know I am a good coach and I really want to move faster and I really want to achieve, I will not set 1 for myself, at least 2, so that when I move from 0 and I want to move to 2, by the time I come down to 1.5, I will not have surpassed the average. That's why the team, they say going beyond the normal and driving excellence. So by the time you are setting goal for yourself, you set goal that is achievable, but you should also challenge yourself, because at least you would have catered for the unforeseen circumstances. That's why even in economics, whenever they give some law, they will now end it with what? Ceteris paribus. All things being equal. Which means, think about equal, oh my law here will stand. So which means if you now think what was given to me, if I divide it by the number of years and you don't challenge yourself, you will think you are on the path, but if some things just shake like this, you are out. The next one is relevant. On the larger scale, is it now what you are doing per day, the data you are collecting, is it contributing to the overall goal? Just like after we were given the quantifiable data, they still have to tell us about the quality one, like reduced profitability, reduced manpower, but it was derived from the one of quantity. So you can also see we are trying to increase this. What we are doing in the branch, is it actually increasing it? So if it's not relevant, that means you as manager, you must monitor it and work towards it. Align your goal with the broader objective of the organization, ensuring they contribute to the success. Now, on the overall, if you break it down by per branches and per zone, when we came in, we saw one branch, they said, we gave you 1.5 and you did 1.7. On that branch scale, the person did well. But on the overall for the company, did the company perform very well? So even when you are doing your things, you must make sure that it is relevant to the organization's goal. Every seconds in your office, every minute, every hour, you are making sure that what I am doing is actually contributing to the goal. And the last one, time bound. Whether you like it or not, time will not wait for you. So even if you don't set time, time will set itself. But you as managers, coach, a football coach knows that no matter how the match is the match is going to end when 90 minutes. Possibly there was a time is it Jam? Okay, I think Bayern Munich did that thing. Bayern Munich was playing with a team in maybe Division 4 when the first score to 13-0. There's no how they might feel like yes we are winning when she might blow after 90 minutes. So before you know it, the end of first month will come, the end of second month will come. So you must set it. Just like the example, I will meet 50 potential clients by the end of January. Okay, I will reduce this number of defaulters from this to this. You know it has been that's measurable. You have the number by the end of January. So you can also divide it by the end of the week. This week 1, week 2, we must do this. You set time with it. So that is what will now give you the chance and the opportunity for your monitoring. Alama ṣe nǹkan a máa lọ bẹ èèyàn 50 lọ́sẹ̀ yìí, èèyàn 10 làwọn àti bá lónìí Tuesday. Ẹ mọ̀ pé 3 days péré ló kù. You will know that something has to be done. So as you are not going, don't just look at it from the big scale alone. 6 million, 5 million. No, break it down and give him time section. By the end of the week, by the end of the month, we should meet this. By the end of the first 2 months, we should meet this. By the end of the first quarter, which is the first 3 months, we should have reached this. And I believe it's achievable. Now, you know the first thing I said is we are monitoring the goal. So how can we monitor the goal? I just use one short word. Be what? Be smart. So that's how you can monitor your goal. Be smart. Make it specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time. The second thing I said we are going to monitor is what? The players. A good coach, as the players are playing on the field, kilo ma lọ́wọ́ tiẹ̀. Tab, yes, anything, ìwé, everything is advanced in learning. But there are times by which you just see one player being subbed in, ọmọ fún ní ìwé wọlé ni pé tó sọ fún wọn pé defender méjì péré mo fẹ́ rí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀yìn yòókù ẹ bọ́ sí. So you as manager, the second one in which you can monitor yourself is be a game changer. Be a what? As manager, be a what? A game changer. That's monitoring your CEO. As manager or coach, learn, understand, and monitor the strengths and weaknesses of your players. So that's how you can do it. Let me tell you, you can't treat. I know AM they will have this experience. Even when they give you target as area, okay, we are giving you 10. Are you going to distribute it equally to the branches under you?
No.
Because you know some branches will function based on this, some branches have this strength, some these are weaknesses. But a coach biru ẹni tá fi hàn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ká forúkọ bọ̀ láṣìírí, if we see that this player is not performing and we still keep on, ẹjọ́ máa play lọ. No. So when you are monitoring your CO, be a what? Be a game changer. And I said this doesn't negate the idea and the concept of bringing them to development. Ẹlòmíì ó kàn wà naturally lazy. Àti ṣe méjì náà méjì. No. There's this. I loved one player, one of my favorite player. I'm a Chelsea fan. So you tell me, Mama, you. There's this player, for people that know him very well, he's a Chelsea player, Aspilicueta. I mean, I was know him very well. That man, I respect him. Kò sí position, he's a defender. He started as a central defender, but kò sí position tí ó gbà tán ní gbogbo coach, and that's why he has the highest number of matches to play, because tán bá lọ sí 5 ó stand síbẹ̀, bá lọ sí 6 ó stand síbẹ̀, bá lọ sí 2. When we had Conte tó ń lo 3-4-3 ó tún play flank. So you see, come back to how we play. I'm a defender. I can only play 5 and 6. It will not be relevant. It will not be relevant. Do you know the amount of trophies he won before he even left Chelsea? Because he made himself relevant. So even when you have your players, you must make sure that you are bringing them up to development, and that's part of monitoring. Lagbaja, oh man, it starts from when you see that they are even defaulting. Lagbaja, nǹkan measurement 10 ní tẹ́lẹ̀, kí ló dé ó ti ń drop. It happens even when we are in office. The new guy we just had, he say, Mori Lagbaja, he is so depressed. Kí ló ṣe? No, this is not you. I know you used to perform like this, because you are actually monitoring your players. So you too, as manager, your as AM, you are monitoring your BMs, the CEO under them, and you see figure in Kishibushi, what's actually going on, so that you can make decisions based on the information you have with you. Lastly, analyzing your players, which are your CEO, will help you on what next to do. That's informed decision. You are not just doing guesswork. You know what to do. That this is the reason why things are not going well. This is the reason why things are going well. We can still improve on them. I said we are going to monitor 3 things. Number 1 is what? The goal itself. So how do we monitor the goal? Be what? Be smart. Be smart. The second thing I said is that you are going to monitor the players. So how do we monitor them? Be a what? A game changer. So the last one is what I said. We are going to monitor what? Process. Now this is a simple way to monitor it. Finish the game before 90 minutes. Finish the game before 90 minutes. Now how many of you have watched? I know some of us, yes, we do. That's I just love responsible. I love it. How many of us remember this word? Thomas on Chelsea or Mourinho, park the bus. How many of us remember that word? Park the bus. They will tell you láyé Mourinho tí Chelsea bá ti lè score ẹyọ kan ṣáájú ẹ̀ gbàgbé ò lè score mọ́, because Mourinho ti parí game láti ìgbà tó ti score yẹn, game ti tán. Bó ṣe èèyàn 10 gbogbo 10 ìwọ̀n èèyàn lè dúró sẹ́yìn pa pé eléyìí àní kò sí nǹkan tó ti gbá shot wọlé sẹ́. And that's what you two can do concerning the processes. Finish the game before 90 minutes. See, your plan, the results you are going to have in December, finish it now. When you start monitoring and evaluating, in fact, by the time you now get to December, you just see that see, monitoring the process is like taking the game before it ends and believing your strategies will work. That's it. A good coach will finish the match even before 90 minutes. By the time they have scored the first goal, they have scored the second goal. You just look at it. Other people only impress him there. Let me just sub 1 or 2 defenders. Or sometimes a coach is losing 2-0 down already, and just feel like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. You're 2 and 3 me down. Mo gbé striker méjì wọlé sí. Ó yá, ẹ̀yin defender méjì pé ó yá máa la sínú, ẹ máa attack wọn. And before you know it, there is no way you put pressure on people. Òun náà máa submit ni. So those coach have finished the game. Like, yes, I'm still losing 2-0 down, no, but no, don't worry. 90 minutes here before you see it, I will win it.
as a good manager, as a good coach, the way you can finish a game or the way you can monitor the process is by having the end in your thinking. Now, I said something, predictive analysis. You are predicting based on what you have on ground. On Monday, our target for the month of January is 1 million naira. On Monday, we are doing 20,000. On Tuesday, we are doing 20,000. A little bit. If we continue this way, 20,000 times 20 working days. Chama meet here, sha. Hello, did you get my analysis now? We had the target of 1 million naira per month for this month. We have 20 working days officially, or let me say, they used to say 30 days, but the working days is 5 days per week and 4 weeks. We have 20 days. Ni Monday, I was 20,000. Ni Tuesday, I was 20,000. Wednesday, I was 20,000. Thursday, I was 20,000. You as coach, if you go to the end of the match without finishing the match, are we going to achieve it? So that's how you think about it. With what we have, you don't have to use software to predict. Just look at the consistency and you look at the information. 10 from 10, I should say 10. I should say 10. Taba continue 10 yìí. This should be party. We can't meet it too. That's what will now help you on what next to do. It will now help you on what next to do, because you now go to the end of the match and now see the way we are doing 2020. You pay wa, let's increase and double it. And that's why I will now lead you to what is called data-driven strategies. That's the second thing, major aspect. Now let me just take you back on the first aspect in which we talk on driving excellence. We call it monitoring and evaluation. Abi, we said monitoring and evaluation is a cycle. We must continue. We said we are going to monitor 3 things. Number 1 is what? The goal, the target that has been set for us. And how can we monitor that? Just a simple word. Be what?
Smart.
Be smart. The second one is that we want to monitor our player. How can we do that? Be a game changer. And the third one is what?
The process.
So how do we monitor the process? Finish the game before 90 minutes. Now, when you are getting your data every day, I can tell you that data, as far as people might think, they might think is a big thing, but it's even as minute as or as informal as anything it might be. Data is just collection of information, collection of figures. All the record you are doing, all the books you are writing, they are information. Even the informal one that is not documented, they are information. You can work with it. Strategy is a general plan designed to achieve the objective. Yes, we are moving towards this. This is the strategy. This is how we want to achieve it. But it will take more than just thinking we are achieving it in abstract. No. But the best way you can really achieve good results is when you make it based on the data you have with you. That's why we have data-driven strategies. This is a business approach that uses data analysis and interpretation to make decisions. And I think you are using Excel. It's part of what you used to. So Excel is even, there are ways. I know some of us might not know much or probably will know much about Excel, but you can perform simple analysis on Excel. You can perform simple analysis. By which you can track your goal, you can see the number of things you are doing per day, you can create a bar chart, pie chart, and see how far you are moving. So data-driven strategy is a business approach that uses data analysis. The information you are collecting per day from your CEO, the information you are collecting per day based on the book you are writing, based on the record you are doing, what you are sending to head office, they can help you to make plans that will actually make you to finish the game before 90 minutes. Let's just delve more into it. The data you collect is key to understanding how loyal your customers are and how frequently they buy your products. Not even only that, and their capability. For example, I did one example yesterday. Customer then for 100,000 Toshin default. Do you think that's the best one? To ever increase the amount of disbursement? Or not level so we can increase it to 200. Why do you think the person is not fit? Why do you think the person is not fit? Because what you have on ground also pay and you will limit up 100,000. We can't just make decision by guesswork. It's even more than that. With data, data that you have, you can tweak your strategic plan just right. You can do it that way. Based on what I have in the month of January, our plan per month is ká máa ṣe 100,000, which means in that first month 60,000 last year, which means 40,000 yẹn ní freelance January á gbowó àwọn months tó kù ni. So it will help you to even strategize very well when you use your data very well. Collections of data will not even provide immediate results. You need to understand the benefits. Identify the areas where your company can benefit the most is the key. So which means us doing record, having data is not even as important as seeing the way we can actually better our company through that information. So the mere fact that I love one course in Healthline, they call it Health Information Management. Okay, the way Nigeria setting used to do them is irrelevant. That's why you can go back to hospital. Last year, you go back to hospital when they learn to record them. But information is very key, is important. They say memory forget, record remember. There's no way. So by the time you see this is it, this is what we have, this is what we have, you can know what to predict on it. Data-driven decision making entails strategic decision based on facts and metrics and collected information. This is where we tend to go to. This is where we are going to. These are the things we are checking. And this is what we have on ground. How do we make it work? The opposite of this approach relies on intuition or guesswork. This will save us from doing guesswork. We are not just doing the guesswork, but we are actually doing decisions that we know that it will work based on what we have. Now, last aspect of it, data allows business to anticipate opportunities and risk before taking relevant action. Just like I gave the example, based on record we have for Yalagbaja, agiri ló fi rí meet 100,000 tá a ṣe fún agiri ló fi meet ẹ. We can't give the person, we can't increase it until it shows that as he or she is capable. But by the time you have someone, a customer by which you are doing 100,000 and she is doing it above, capacity let's increase it, because you are not just you've seen opportunity based on the data you have with you. Data driven companies or individuals are more successful. Most of us have Netflix, we have Facebook, we browse through Google, collected someone's number today, and before you know it, Facebook has brought the person as suggested for you. How many of us has encountered such? Wọ́n ṣe gba nọ́mbà yẹn lónìí, bó ṣe gba nọ́mbà lónìí o kàn wọ́n Facebook lálẹ́, suggested for you orúkọ ẹnìyẹn ni, because they monitor the data you just collected. Netflix, they will look at it, they gave you one, even our Facebook reel, they notice when you scroll through on Mr. Shaggy, you completed the reel for 1 minute, o tún to play again, they will keep the information with you. But I want to show Asalatu, scroll lọ sókè jàre ta ló ráyè yín, o tún gbé mi kan wá tí ìrírí ayé mọ̀lélẹ́ ṣe kìíní kan, o tún you watch it, they will know what you really want, and that's why before you scroll to the next one, they will bring what you like, and before you know it, you start consuming your data. They make more profit because they are using your data. So you too as managers use data you have to make decision for customers. I think yesterday, is it Mr. Kazim that was saying something like that, okay, I think it was in second session, that we are not just money lender, we are financial advisors. Anytime Jalo tell the party ló fi ń lọ, you tell the person no, this is the way things should be, because you know that only for shasha. And also making informed decision, I've talked about it very well. Predictive analysis to satisfy customer, you know what the customer is tending to love. Just like the Facebook, we see that you can't see someone who loves football, one or two information to make ball. Even the ad they will be giving to you on YouTube, where they know that football, there's something they will predict for you. There's probability that someone that is love football will love betting. They will now give you one ad on betting. You want to click play, they give it to you the second time, auto click play. Go and try this. Maybe female or anybody, go and try it. As male, go and try it. Just go to Google, pregnancy test kit. ọkùnrin ni yóò but just search it pregnancy test kit tó bá tún ti di tó ń jáde padà in the next 30 minutes try it again where can I buy pregnancy test kit if you try that before the end of the day I'm sure before you open your phone tomorrow you will see notification of adverts regarding that. So you know, so that's how it is. When you have the interest, it's so funny that even audio Google thing knows me. We might just be talking. Someone said this and it happens to me. Me as mom sorry me àrílágbájá báyìí orúkọ yẹn and by the time I just enter Facebook suggested for you orúkọ yẹn nẹgbẹwà through even voice because they know that's information that's why I say even as informal it might be báwo ni outing tẹ ṣe lónìí èèyàn méjì èèyàn mẹ́ta báwo ni outing tẹ lọ lónìí èèyàn márùn you can still use those things and by the time you use data you can understand customers behavior. This is the summary. 2 things we check through in driving excellence. Number 1, let's read it out everybody.
As a manager, see yourself as a coach who has to be highly committed to the organization's goal, hence monitoring and evaluating
activities. Ó mọ̀ pé we are trying to achieve something máa monitor ẹ̀ má jẹ́ kó di ìparí kó tó di pé ó tó rọ̀ pé ọkọ̀ ti wọgbó no. Second one is this. Let's read everybody.
Information gotten through M&E should lead to informed decision.
Bí gbogbo wa ṣe ń rí i pé ṣé tẹ̀yàngì ṣó daft ni ṣé kò yẹ kó mọ̀ pé kó ti yọ ọ̀bọ̀ ìtí ògùdì ni based on what you are saying that's the same thing you too should know that yes this figure I'm seeing on the table I need to work on it and I believe the year 2025 by the time we come back here we are going to celebrate I believe that. So thank you for listening and I wish you a prosperous year. My name remains Emmanuel Adesoji.
Thank you, sir.